Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Hannah and I like to ramble on about books. Today's video we're going to be doing my August reading wrap up, and honestly this is going to be a quick one. I did not have a good month in reading month for the month of August. I feel like I wasn't super excited about my TBR, so I feel like that's kind of a factor. The first book I picked up was moving very slowly, and I'll kind of get into that a little bit more. The audiobook I was listening to was kind of also slow, so I just feel like in general, until the end of the month, I was struggling. So let's just jump into my reads for the month of August. First up, we have Aragon by Christopher Paolini, and as you can see, there's still a bookmark in here, and that's because I decided to soft DNF this book. I was enjoying it, but I feel like it's just moving really slowly right now. I think I got almost 150 pages in. It's just the wrong time for this book. I think I'll pick it up more like December, January time, but right now it's just not the right timing. I feel like I just need a different vibe for right now, and this kind of fantasy is unfortunately not doing it for me. So I made the decision, I think almost 2 weeks into August, to just put this down and I will try it again some other time. So that's where we're at there. Again, not a hard DNF. I will get back to it. I want to read the entire series, just not the right timing for me. So the first book I officially finished in the month of August was Infernium by Carrie Lake. This is the second book in the Nightshade duology, and this one I enjoyed. I ended up giving it 3 stars, I want to say. My only issue is, again, I felt like this one started out super slow. I feel like we weren't getting to the actual plot for a long time in this book. I don't know. We still had the dual timeline too, so we were still getting stuff from the past, and honestly, in my opinion, I feel like I could have gone without that. I didn't feel like it gave me much more information than I already knew, or that I could have figured out just from the present timeline. So honestly, that kind of bored me. There's a little bit tidbits that were kind of important, but I feel like they were so minuscule that you could have just given me that information in some other way, shape, or form. That one, I did enjoy the duology overall, but it's not the strongest from Carrie Lake, in my opinion. I do still love her as an author, but that duology just wasn't, it's not super high up there on my recommendations. The second book in the month of August that I finished that was kind of on my TBR, but not officially, was Dark Fae by Carolyn Peckham and Susan Valenti. This is the first book in the Ruthless Boys series, so I think this one came out first anyway, but this is the prequel series to Zodiac Academy. So you're following characters like Gabriel and Leon. I'm trying to think who else. Oh my god, Dante. Dante's the other one. So all those characters are in there. A bunch of characters you don't know from the Zodiac Academy universe. This is a wide choose, and I am normally not a wide choose girly. I usually like them to pick one. You know, love triangles are okay, but they still end up picking one. I actually really enjoyed this. Like, the way they did this is amazing, to the point where once I finished this, I immediately downloaded the next book, which is Savage Fae. So I'm absolutely going to continue and finish the series. I need to know what happens. I'm pretty sure I know who she is going to end up with just because of a certain thing that happened. But the meat and bones of this is we are following a girl named Elise, who is enrolling herself at Aurora Academy because her brother was going there and he was murdered. And we don't know why, we don't know who, so she is going there trying to infiltrate different groups and figure out who murdered him. So this school also isn't, it's not like Zodiac Academy, it's not super high up and prestigious. It's a little bit lower down there, a little sketchy at times, because there's 2 major rival gangs that go to the school, so there's a whole gang war going on, and then the people caught in the middle, there's like a whole drug dealing plot as well. So this is really good. I highly recommend it. Like I said, I've already moved on to the next one. I gave this one 4 stars, but I can see this easily being a 5-star series depending on where we go with the story. Then the next book, and probably my saving grace for the month of August, is Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRue. 5 stars. This was fantastic. Paranormal, dark romance, amazing. We follow Ray, or Raylan, and her parents retire and move to Spain, and they're like, hey, you can come with us if you want, but she's still in school, so she's like, nope, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna finish up school, and then we'll figure out what I'm gonna do. So she moves back to her hometown where she grew up to go to school there to finish out her college career. Anyway, she is very much into the paranormal. She has a little YouTube channel that she likes to make videos, but she's not one of those ones that like makes fake things. She wants to find something real. So she decides, she ends up with this book that her friend who kind of runs a bookstore had that was donated, and her friend's like, keep it. It's a super old book, and she finds all these rituals and stuff in this book. So it's basically a grimoire. She decides, you know what? My channel's struggling. I'm going to do something that's going to give me a lot of views. I'm going to do one of these summoning circles. And she's like, I don't know how to do it for real. Like, there's a part that involves blood and stuff. She's like, I'm not going to do that. Well, things transpire, and she actually does end up summoning a demon by accident. So there's a whole plot line with a cult that is in this town and them trying to raise this long forgotten about god who's clearly evil. So she and this demon are trying to almost work together. I wouldn't say quite, but they end up doing that. So it's a pretty interesting relationship they have, and I fucking loved it. This is super spicy, so if you are not into that, stay far away from this, but I loved it. This was fantastic. I am going to continue the rest of the trilogy. Absolutely, 100%. And then the last book I read in the month of August was The Curse That Binds by Laura Thalassa. This is the prequel book in the Bewitched series. So in this series, we're going way back in time, and we are following Roxy and Memnon's love story. And honestly, when I was reading this, it was giving me the vibes of like Dany and Khal from Game of Thrones, like that kind of relationship, and I love that. That was fantastic. My only issue a lot of times with prequels is I know what's going to happen at the end. We pretty much, the little ending tidbit we got in the second book of the series. So honestly, it was kind of a spoiler, but it's a prequel, so what are you going to do? You kind of already know what's going to happen. It's just pretty much verbatim what we have already read in another book, so I guess that part wasn't super thrilled about. There were a couple things that transpired that we didn't know anything about, so that was very interesting. But all in all, I did really enjoy this, and I gave this 4 stars. I love this series so much, and I can't wait for the next installment to come out. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I read in the month of August, just 4 books. And the end of the month with those last 3 were good, but I really struggled when I started this month. So I'm hoping September will be a lot better. I'm just gonna pick what I want to read. I did make a fall TBR for the whole fall season. So I intend to pick books off of that TBR. I might venture out and do some other books too, but we're just gonna do what I want this month, and hopefully we'll get some better results. I'd love to hear your thoughts on any of these books that I read, or even the ones I didn't get to. One other book that was on my TBR that I started was Crossroads by Debney Perry, which is a cowboy romance, which was a book that's out of my comfort zone, I think was the prompt that I picked for that. And honestly, I'm not hating that one. I'm not very far in, but I am enjoying it so far. So we'll see. I'm going to finish that one. I don't think it's going to be a DNF, which is good as well. I just didn't finish it in the month of August. But like I said, let me know your thoughts on any of these books that I read. I'd love to hear what you guys read in the month of August and what you're planning to read on next month. So that's everything for today. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.